you went from being a player to being a manager, okay?
Yes.
And that's quite a big transition. I, on the other hand, have never reached the dizzy heights that you have. I do young kids football, and I train them to be hopefully good players and understand football. And football's not my background because I'm not a player. I'm a tactician. When you went from being a player to being a manager, and you start having to work with slightly younger players and stuff like this, what did you bring to those players and what did you look for?
Yeah. First, I have to tell you, when I was a player, I was thinking like a coach, like a manager.
Yeah.
In England, it's manager. In Germany, we speak about the coach, but it's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I was thinking like a manager, and for this, I was always ready to be manager after my football career. And when I was a player and thinking like a manager, I was caring the same about the younger player because I finished my career. I was 39. Yes. Somebody who was playing with me in the team can be my son, with
Yes,
19, 20 years old. Yes, when you start very early to make children, this was possible. You have a child in the age of the youngest player in your team. And for this was not so difficult for me to be later manager and to work with the younger generation players. And sure, young generation player, what they need? Talent, passion, love to this sport. And sure, you, like a manager, are working with younger kids.
Yeah, yes. Some 6-year-olds, some of them.
6 years old.
And 12.
Yes, and I think this is a different work than when you have to work with young professional players. Sure, you have to teach them how you teach your young kids. In a way, it's similar, in a different way.
Okay, but the difference today is from when you were doing it. We were talking about early football earlier on. The difference is today is you sitting on that bench. Yes, you have them shouting behind you at the end of the match, right? But now you have the world's worst scenario, social media. And even while the game is on, they're saying sack the manager.
Yeah, but we cannot take all the emotion away from us. Football is an emotional sport.
Yes.
And you have to show the emotion. I think when you can show your emotion, you can make a better game. Yeah? You cannot be somebody because of social media. You have to use your mentality, your power, and your emotion for this game.
And my final question.
Final question.
It has to go back to the World Cup because you know how passionate.
World Cup? Which World Cup?
Anyone that you've won, you know what I mean. The thing I'm most interested in is this moment, because when you do something momentous, it's not the actual moment that it actually hits you, but it could be something like driving down in a car 6 months later when it suddenly kind of goes, wow, I did that. When did that, I know you picked the cup up and you're like, yeah, 1998, look at what I've won. But when did that moment actually hit you further down the line?
I think this was generally the greatest moment in my career. And I told you I was playing 21-year professional player, and you win for your country, with your team, the World Cup in Italy, 1990.
Yeah.
And in this time I was living in Italy. This was my home World Cup. Yeah? Germany is always talking about 2006. Yeah, they had the World Cup in Germany and they make the third place. And I was living in this time in Italy because I played for Inter Milan from 88 till 92. And in this time, I won with my German team in Italy, in my home country, the World Cup with Germany. This was for me the biggest what I can win. Not only the World Cup, especially I was living in this country.
Oh, this is true. Thank you for your time, man.
Football, tactics and glory. Play now.
Sei dabei.
Alle.
Oh, I didn't learn that
All.
one. I didn't learn that one. Thanks, man.